Bob, otherwise known as Jayhawker. You know, I've known you for a lot of years. In fact, you're one of the, besides the Chicago Colts Fast Draw Club in Illinois that I first joined when I was a kid, you're one of the first people I got to know outside of our club back in about 1968 or 9, right? And I think 69 is when I met you.
Yes, that's right.
Yes. So, how long have you been shooting fast draw, the sport in general?
I shot in my very first contest, Cal, in 1961 at Joyland Amusement Park in Wichita, Kansas, and my very first shoot, which I was strictly and also ran, was the World Championship for that year.
Uh-huh. So you've been at it 61 years now, if my math is correct, right?
Yes.
Wow.
And I never quit. I never took a break.
And so what, you've been around all this time and you've seen all the other, you know, there's been a lot of different associations and sports over the year of fast draw because it really started in the 1950s and it's progressed. And you know, I've always said that they kept the equipment race going and they finally eventually got away from the Old West. And Cowboy Fast Draw was to bring it back to that route. What do you think about that?
Well, I think you're correct. One of the major problems with the sport was that everyone pushed the envelope to get more speed. It was strictly speed oriented, much more than accuracy. When it started, you only shot a blank.
Right.
And there was not even a target. It was just, well, if it didn't go in the ground or go up here, it was a good shot. And so it became strictly an equipment race. And the evolution went totally away from the Old West gunfighter that we started emulating, and it was strictly about speed. Cowboy Fast Draw brought it back where I want it to be and where I think it always should have been.
Right, you know, the target we shoot at it in the distance, a 17-inch target at 15 feet, that is meant to equalize speed versus accuracy, and I think we've accomplished that here, don't you?
I think it does a very good job of it. As I get older, it's a little more difficult, and I can see, I love doing it at 10 feet, but 15 foot is the perfect distance, and that's a great target.
You know,
it's not easy to hit, but it does allow someone to go for it and hit. We're seeing amazing times. I didn't believe anyone would ever shoot in the threes, and now they're shooting in the low threes.
Yes.
And a lot of our shooters are doing that and consistently hitting. So it's the right target at the right distance.
Hey, that's good to hear, Bob. I think we're doing it right. So now, this year in Deadwood, you know, we have our national championship in Deadwood. We go back about every 5 years because that's where our sport was founded.
Yeah.
And this year, on the second day of competition, you were one of the 2 shooters that was still clean on the second day of the competition. And you know, you were really on at that match, and you almost went all the way.
Well, as I remember, you were the other guy that was also clean.
Well, that's true.
And some of that, I think, was psychologically being back in Deadwood.
Yes.
And some of it was we went back where it started to the bigger target at 21 feet.
Right.
And I was consistently hitting 3 out of 5 every time I went to the line. And a lot of the speed shooters were missing at the longer target.
Right.
And I was totally thrilled. There were 163 men, and I took 6th place. I couldn't have been happier.
You made it into the top 6 there, right at the end, where they had a little shoot off, and so no, that was a magical moment there. That in the center stage in downtown Deadwood in their rodeo arena, that was exciting, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, there's nothing. So now, you are an author of note. You have authored. You're an expert and a historian on holsters, and especially tied with Hollywood westerns. You really like those. I've seen your collections. It's amazing. And so you're noted for being an author in a lot of the gun magazines and stuff about holsters. And what drives you to that? What do you love about that?
Well, this sport started as an outgrowth of the 1950s, what was called adult TV westerns.
Yes.
Even today, many people know of Gunsmoke because it's been in reruns forever. Gunsmoke was actually the longest running nighttime dramatic TV show in history. And I loved that Hollywood gunfighter mystique.
Right.
And ironically, when I started, the holster was the Arvo Ojala Hollywood Fast Draw holster, which cost $49.95. As a 16-year-old high school student, that was a fortune. So I got a Tandy Leather Company kit and made my own.
Right.
I've been collecting and making holsters ever since, but it's still my preference is still the Hollywood TV Western look.
Okay, well, yeah, Arvo Ojala. He was the guy on the other end of the street that Matt Dillon shot in the opening every week.
Yes, he was.
He was quite a character. He was the gun coach on the movie, too.
Yes.
So that was great. Well, Bob, good luck in the competition. Always a pleasure talking to you, my friend.
Thank you very much. And I hope I know you'll be a friend forever, Cal.
Absolutely.